Okay, we only have 9 minutes before I have to give a class, but it's just something I want to get off my chest regarding the recent anti-Semitic attacks. But what's equally as vexing and infuriating to me is the self-righteous response from the rest, from the left-wing media and left-wing movements, right? Trying to jump on our victimhood, trying to exploit our victimhood for their political gain and to put us on their political plantation. All right. Let me put this straight and simple. I hate Nazis. Right. My family was 500 years in Germany, and that was all cut short when Hitler rose to power. My immediate family, my father's immediate family, were only survivors, made out by the skin of their teeth on the last boat in 1939. My mother's side, if not for the fact that my grandfather, my mother's father, received a rabbinical position in Switzerland that was a neutral country during World War II, I wouldn't be here. Right. So he had that rabbinical position in Basel, Switzerland, but his parents and my grandmother's parents exterminated, right, in Tells and Kelm. Right. I hate the Nazis. I hate white supremacists. But make no mistake. However, they're not, the people that carry on their name are not the major threat to the Jewish people, and certainly not to the state of Israel. Right? There's the people that carry the term Nazi, identify as Nazi, white power, white supremacist, and that's why it's hashtag. Any Nazi that's coming on here because you saw the hashtag white power, whatever, right? Hate you, right? But you're not a threat to me or my community, my people, right? Maybe if a person would be stuck with you in a dark alley, one particular night, but there's maybe 10,000 of you throughout the entirety of the United States. And how many of you are there worldwide? Bunch of white trash. Most of you didn't make it past the third grade. Well, you're not threats to the Jewish community or the state of Israel, right? That's so they're despicable people, full of hate and need to be condemned in the strictest of terms. But just because they're totally reprehensible, to say the least, doesn't mean that they are the clear and present danger that faces us now, even though the people whose names they use were 70 years ago. Right? Times have changed. Our enemies and the ones who are hurting us, right, and that we have to be afraid of are the people on the left. Now, case in point, in the last few years, the rise of anti-Semitism, a a very high number of hate crimes that are not fully reported in the media, like the ones that happened most recently in Muncie and Brooklyn. It's not by white people at all. Now, I've got nothing against other racial groups. To me, race means nothing. It's just a color. It means nothing. As a Jew, I'm Ashkenazi, right? But there are Sephardic Jews, there are Yemenite Jews, there are Ethiopian Jews. Come on. Race means absolutely nothing to me. Now, the left wants to profile it as all the white supremacists and ultimately all Trump. And it's an insult to our intelligence, right? To tell us, that it's the white supremacists who are killing you when it's not. It's the Trump voters that are killing you when it's not. Right? Not the person in Pittsburgh. He may have been white, but he wasn't a Trump supporter. Right? And what's going on in Brooklyn and Muncie, there weren't white people at all. Right? Much of the anti-Semitism here and in Europe is, is from minority groups. Again, I have nothing against minorities. Like I like Candace Owens, I like Larry Elder. Just as two examples, really, race means nothing to me. But there's the big lie to profile it. It's white supremacy. Not true. It's a lot of people from Arab countries. It has to do with being anti-Israel. The new anti-Semitism is anti-Israel, which fills the Democratic Party. Right? When Ilhan Omar stepped out of line, so they had to water it down and pass. The condemnation had to be a resolution against hate in general, camouflage. camouflage. To deny, to conceal the real truth that the anti-Semitism, the anti-religious, like we're still. This is the last day of Hanukkah. This is the last day of Hanukkah. How did we fought for our religious liberty and to regain control of the land of Israel? It was the time of the Second Commonwealth, the Second Temple period. Right? The two things, the two struggles that are going on today. The two struggles are going on today, right? The two, is our religious liberties, right? Our religion, to have ritual slaughter, to do, to freedom to give bris milah, circumcise our male children, and to adhere to all the values of the Bible. Yes, all the commandments in Leviticus, right? To adhere to all our biblical values without hurting anyone else. This is just our values, so we want to live within our community, right? Not telling anyone else how to live, right? 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 And we just want our national homeland, our biblically processional restored to us. All the threats are coming from the left. All the recent attacks, or many of them, were not any guy, KKK guy from somewhere out west, right? You know, not from that ethnic group, right? Now the point is like this: race means nothing to me. It's not. It doesn't mean anything to me that the attackers were of color or not of color. I don't care, right? But the point is, the attackers were leftists, right? Democrats, anti-Trump people, blaming Trump. Now, this is the greatest insult to intelligence. I think I began saying it before. Is when the Nazis, 70 years ago, the real Nazis used to round up the Jews and say, "We're doing this for your own protection. We're taking you somewhere safe." Listen, it's bad enough you're killing me. You have to insult my intelligence also, or alternatively say, "Don't trust what your Jewish leaders are telling you. We really have your safety at heart." Just saying, like, don't trust Trump. Trump is the greatest friend the Jewish people have ever had in the last 2,000 years. Really. And his own daughter and their grandchildren are Jewish. What kind of stupidity is that? Trump is the greatest lover of the Jewish people and the state of Israel that I could ever remember, and history records, like for 2,000 years. Really. Right? And he's fighting for religious liberty. Right? So I had a kid that grew up, with my kids at my Shabbos table. Come to Nazi, come to Nazi. Right? I said, I guess that Hitler didn't know what Nazism was. I guess Hitler didn't understand what Nazism was. He should have learned from Trump that to be a real Nazi, you have to be pro-Jewish and pro-Israel. That's the stupidest thing in the world. So now I'm reaching out to my fellow Jews. Don't be taken in. Right now, we're feeling vulnerable and victimized, and these leftist groups are offering to make demonstrations for our sake. They're exploiting us like they exploit the black community also. And I'm not a black person. I don't have the right to speak. But ask Candace Owens, ask Larry Elder, ask other conservative black leaders. They're exploiting our victimhood to take control of us. And in the end, they are the biggest threat to us, to the state of Israel, right? That Israel should be able to defend itself against the Palestinian terrorism and the Palestinian threat, right? Which the Jewish people have been the nicest to the people that call themselves Palestinian, better than anyone else who ever occupied that piece of land in the Middle East, right? The greatest hatred against Jewish people is in the Democratic Party, Louis Farrakhan, right? And people like that. Louis Farrakhan was friends with Cory Booker, friends with Maxine Waters, Slappy Maxie, right? And he does. All the hate is there. They have the amazing self-righteousness that all the hate is on the left, and to say that they're full of hate because they're fighting the haters. They're the hate. They're the ones who are the greatest threat to us. I say to boycott some of these events that have been arranged because the left is manipulating us, right? To exploit our victimhood, or first of all, tell us that we're victims, tell us that they'll protect us when they are the threat to us. This is like to add insult to the intelligence on top of injury. Reverse should help. The light of Hanukkah had prevailed in those days against the evil Greek, trying to secularize us, right, and trying to take the land of Israel away from us. So also that light should shine in this day. And the leftists are trying to forcibly secularize us in the name of love and woke, right, trying to take away the land of Israel from us and give it to the Palestinians. Right, the light of Hanukkah should come and cause us to prevail over them, and we should culminate with the coming of Mashiach Tzidkenu b'meira b'yameinu. Don't go to the leftist protests. Don't endorse them.